Alright, and hello guys. Today we're going to be watching his story. Wow. For a chance to win a free iPhone 17 every million subs. Okay, that's insane. Okay, so we are going to check out.
I just marked 3,039 days on the wall of the group home when a couple came in and actually.
Wait, I need to turn my volume up more clear.
I just marked 3,039 days on the wall of the group home when a couple came in and actually made eye contact with me. The husband was wearing Lilo and Stitch shorts, and I pointed at them. "That's my favorite movie. Ohana means nobody gets left behind." The wife giggled and hugged me. I almost cried because it was the first time anyone.
Whoa. Okay, that's a bit weird. Okay.
Had held me in years. She whispered, "We'll be coming back for you." When she left, my social worker squeezed my shoulder. "Don't get your hopes up. You're almost 12. Couples usually want someone younger," but I clenched my fists because I needed him to be wrong. A week later, they came back with a jumbo-sized Lilo and Stitch. I jumped up because it was the first time anyone had given me a gift before. "Thank you, miss. Thank you, sir." The man smiled.
What are they, your teacher?
"Call us Mom and Dad." The woman nodded. "We'll be signing the documents for adoption over the next few weeks. Soon we'll be a family." When I went to sleep that night, I dreamt about all of us eating dinner at the kitchen table together, maybe with a dog, eating food that was actually fresh. But when visitation time came a week later, they never showed up. I blinked back my tears and tried to tell myself that something came up, but the social worker immediately walked over to me. "Been working this job for 10 years, kid. Seen this 1,000 times. Better to accept that parents either want to adopt babies or have children. That's it." I crumpled the Lilo and Stitch card I'd made for them while tears stung my eyes.
What do I gotta say about this, bro? I don't know. This is weird, though.
Weeks passed, and I started stealing and acting like the other kids in the group home. I took from people's bags when they weren't looking. I walked around with a black hoodie and stopped smiling. When I blew out the candle alone on my 12th birthday, I didn't wish for a family. I wished to stop wanting one. And right as the birthday candle fumes filled the room, the door burst open. It was the couple, and they were holding the signed documents. I ran to hug them before I even processed what was going on. The man cried, "I lost my job 2 days before we were meant to sign the documents. The state froze the adoption, and there was nothing we could do." His wife stepped forward. "We never changed our minds. We never stopped thinking about you." The social worker set the folder down, and I signed before anyone could stop me. Weeks later, during the court hearing, my mom and dad walked into court in a full Lilo and Stitch costume, waving both blue arms at me. That night in my new room, he handed me a marker, and I marked day 1 on the wall. I just marked 3,000.
Dang.
Dante shoved me into the dirt after school and told me to get up so he could do it again. Kids came running from every direction while he stood over me, cracking
Fight back, my guy.
his knuckles one at a time, and I scrambled backwards until my shoulders hit the flagpole. I had nowhere left to go, so I closed my eyes and braced for 6'6" of pure muscle to snap me in half. But instead of ending it, he yanked me up by the collar. "I told you not to talk to her. She's mine." He threw me back in the dirt and turned to dust his hands off for the crowd. "Shoulda kept your head down watching your stupid kung fu movies, you little geek." The whole circle laughed with him, and something in me snapped, because all of this was over one conversation with a girl at lunch. I'd never thrown a punch in my life, but I spat out the dirt, pulled myself up that flagpole, and said the words that almost got me killed. "I'll talk to whoever I want." The laughing stopped dead, and Dante turned
Buddy might be fried.
around slower than I'd ever seen him move. Say that again. He ripped his backpack off and threw it into the crowd, cracking his neck while every phone came out, and I did the math. Dante hadn't lost a fight in 2 years, and every kid who tried him made the same mistake. They swung first. My legs were shaking so bad that the flagpole was the only thing holding me up. But if those stupid kung fu movies taught me anything, it was that you can't fight fire with fire, so I had to be like water. I wasn't going to swing. I was going to let Dante beat Dante. I dropped my head like he told me to, and that's when I saw it. His right shoelace was untied, dragging in the dirt, and he had no clue. I needed him too mad to look down.
Is he a 5-year-old, or is he just bad at tying a shoe? I don't know, but idiot.
So I lifted my head, leaned around him, and blew the girl from lunch. a kiss. She giggled into her hand, and Dante's fists curled so tight his knuckles cracked. Come on then, you waiting for a bell? I shook an invisible bell. Ding ding. He came at me like a bull out of a chute, and I planted my feet, because if I was wrong about that shoelace, I was about to get folded in half. His left foot came down right on that loose
You're about to be reshaped into a camel.
and his next step never landed. 6'6" of pure muscle pitched forward, and all I did was take one step to the side. His head hit the flagpole so hard the rope clanged, and he dropped face first into the dirt like a sack of flour, and the circle went silent. I never even touched him. Dante, the kid who hadn't lost a fight in 2 years, got knocked out by Dante. The place exploded, and every phone that came out for my beatdown caught his instead. The girl pushed through the crowd, stepped over him, and took my arm. We got 3 steps before I stopped and bent down to make sure my laces were tied. I double knotted them just in case. Dante shoved me into the dirt.
Now you just lost aura. I can't lie. Okay, yeah. Alright, so, usually there should be something actually good. Nothing? Really? Y'all clearly need a pay raise. Alright, but, you know, I don't know. Nor do I care. But, okay.
I got an emergency call that a robbery was in progress, so I rushed over to the store, my hands on my holster. The owner immediately pointed at the homeless man sitting on the floor in the corner of his store. That filthy beggar was robbing me, he spat. Arrest him. I walked towards the man and noticed the scrunched up bouquet of flowers in his lap. I asked him if he'd really been stealing, and he looked up. It's my wife's birthday. She's homeless out here with me, and I had no money to get her flowers. My chest tightened because his entire face was bruised, but the owner was already leaning over my shoulder. He reached down and snatched the flowers out of the man's lap. Here's what I think of your wife. He spat on the bouquet and dropped it onto the floor. I was shocked, but the homeless man instantly pushed himself up to his feet. Don't you ever talk about my wife. The owner spun
Buddy might be fried.
me instantly, pointing. See? He's aggressive. He just threatened me. Arrest him right now. I realized the situation was escalating, so I put a hand up and told everyone to calm down, but the owner was starting to get on my nerves. I asked the man how he got the bruises on his face, and the owner smirked. That was me. I made sure to really hit hard when I saw this piece of filth stealing. He said it proudly, and because I was homeless once, I'd reached my limit. So you assaulted him. That's a crime, and you're under arrest. His face dropped as I reached for my cuffs. He shoved
And that's why you never... Oh. Okay, I just read the captions. You're cooked. You know that, right?
me back hard. You're not arresting me. Arrest him and his wife for existing around me. But I closed the gap and grabbed his wrist. I'll charge you for assault of an officer too if you're not careful. The homeless man put his hand on my shoulder. Nobody's ever taken my side before. I nodded and walked the owner out while he cursed at us. But as I shoved him into my cruiser, I saw the homeless man handing the flowers to his wife on the corner, and beside them, there was a homeless little girl, mouthing, "Happy birthday, mommy." My heart genuinely shattered, so I decided to go buy them a birthday cake out of the owner's wallet. He watched helplessly, red in the face as I handed it to them. I got an emergency call that I was showing the new girl Melody how to work the ticket register when my coworker
Okay, and that last one. Okay, that was Master Rage Bait. Yeah, that was just Rage Bait. Nothing else.
Ben leaned over her shoulder. "Sweetheart, you might want to ask to be trained by someone who isn't an idiot." Melody's eyes darted between us, like she wasn't sure if this was a joke, and I gave her a small smile. "It's okay, you're doing great." She waited until he walked off before asking, "Are you seriously okay with him talking to you like that?" I just shrugged. I just ignore it. I'd stood up for myself once before, and gotten written up for creating a hostile work environment, so I'd learned to keep my mouth shut a long time ago. This was just the usual around here, so I didn't expect today to be any different. An hour later, I was walking Melody through the weekly movie schedule when Ben launched a handful of popcorn at the back of my head from across the concession stand. Kernels rained down onto the counter and stuck in my hair. Oopsie, my hand slipped. Our coworker Jacob laughed so hard he cried. I sighed and started picking them out one.
Okay, how is that funny? Like, I don't understand. Popcorn, that's just a waste. And, how I reacted to Brandon Lucas. I have beef with this guy now. He wastes perfectly good food, or like snacks. Instead of like giving it to like kind people, he throws it at cars. And that is just stupid.
by one, because getting mad had never once gotten me anywhere here. Later, when I was mopping the lobby floor between showings, a line of customers already forming for the next movie, Jacob walked by and tipped his soda straight onto the section I'd just finished. Oops, Ben doubled over, slapping the counter. A few customers in line started staring, and my face went hot with embarrassment, but there was nothing I could do about it in front of all of them, so I just mopped the same spot again. Melody's hands curled into fists at her sides, but she didn't say a word. She waited until we were alone restocking the popcorn machine. Why don't you report them to HR? I shook my head. I did, twice. Turns out the HR rep and Jacob went to the same college. Melody didn't say anything, just kept refilling the machine. Her jaw.
And that's just like being the little child. You're the favorite. I'm the older child. You don't know how it feels, my guy. You don't know how it feels.
As tight as mine. That afternoon, the front door chimed and the owner walked in. Melody's whole face lit up, and I had no idea why some random customer would make her look like that. Hi, Dad. I'm glad you're here because we have some things to talk about. My stomach dropped. The girl I'd spent the entire day training, the one who just watched Ben and Jacob humiliate me over and over, was the owner's daughter, and she'd seen every second of it. She walked him through exactly what she'd seen all
Might be fried.
day, and he turned to Ben and Jacob. You're both done. Grab your things. I felt months of tension leave my shoulders all at once. He turned to me next, already reaching out his hand. Thank you for training my daughter right through all of that. How does assistant manager sound? I was showing the new girl Melody. I came home through the front doors, excited to spend the evening with my wife, but she backed into a corner the second she saw me. Get away from me, I don't know you. She threw a plate directly at my head, and it smashed on the wall behind me. The shards bounced and cut my cheek as she screamed, "Tell me what you did to my husband." My hand shot to my face as I struggled to understand what she just said. I am your husband, we've been married for 11 years. Liar! She grabbed the golf club off the couch and raised it above her head. I know you took him. Where is he? She started smashing counters, cracking the table we'd had dinner on just yesterday. Please tell me what you did to him. I watched her sob and thought she was having a breakdown, so I pulled out my phone to dial 911, but she immediately roared, "No, you're not kidnapping me too." She bolted out the back doors and scaled the fence, running away from me into the woods. I immediately dropped my
And this is why we have mental hospitals. Check one out.
phone and ran after her, my brain scrambling to think of why my wife thought I had kidnapped myself. I caught her at the tree line and wrapped my arms around her. She thrashed and bit my forearm, still screaming for me to give her husband back. Paramedics traced the open call and reached us a few minutes later. At the hospital, a doctor sedated her, then pulled me aside and explained my wife had developed Capgras syndrome. It's where the brain becomes convinced the people you love have been replaced by clones out to harm you. There's no cure, and your wife is an extreme case, so we're moving her to a psych ward. I dropped to my knees, and the next day walked up to the window
What did I tell you, bro?
of her room. She started banging the glass the second she saw me and begging me to bring her husband back, but I just stood helplessly on the other side, my fists clenched as tears rolled down my face. I'd never have her back. I came home through the front. My classmate Derek handed me a Dorito and
Of course, bro has a Dorito. Big ol' Weston.
I went to bed. My classmate Derek handed me a Dorito and grinned. I know you can't eat this. I shrugged. What do you mean I can't eat a Dorito? I threw the whole thing in my mouth, but the second I crunched down my eyes went wide. It's the one chip challenge. He laughed and pulled out his phone because my face was already turning red. Sweat poured down my face as my mouth and stomach instantly screamed in pain. I reached for Derek's milk carton, but he pulled it away, shoving his camera in my face. I got up and sprinted behind the lunch lady's counter, dropping to my knees and going through the fridge looking for milk. I opened the gallon carton and started drinking, not even caring 300 kids were screaming, "Milk boy," as the white liquid flowed down my face into my shirt. But then I felt it. My insides twisted, and the school bathroom stall was calling my name. I went to sprint out, but suddenly the principal blocked my path. He ripped the milk carton from me. "You're getting detention. I'm gonna crap myself." I screamed and ran straight into the bathroom, where I sat for 45 minutes hyperventilating in the stall. But Derek was right outside, sticking his hand underneath the stall with his phone on so he could record me. As I sat there, making the school bathroom unusable and feeling humiliated, I realized what I had to do. I
Dang, the one chip challenge does not seem pleasant.
walked into the cafeteria next day, hearing "Milk Boy" around me, but I simply sat down and pulled out my lunch. A tray of nachos, filled with one chip challenge chips, drizzled in Carolina Reaper sauce, jalapenos, and ghost pepper extract. From the outside, it looked like Derek's favorite, when in reality, it was the culmination of all of mankind's mistakes. Derek walked over the second he saw me. "What's up, Milk Boy? How's the one chip challenge?" But then my plate caught his eye. "I want some." His sausage fingers lunged for the nachos, and he shoveled handfuls into his mouth. I watched grinning laughing as he ate 10 one-chip challenge chips with everything else on top. What are you laughing at? He slammed the table, but face dropped midway. Oh my god! He instantly read, flailing his arms. It burns! But his fingers accidentally brushed his eyes. Ah! Derek's legs started shaking. I can't see! I need milk! I laughed because I'd done the math. What Derek had eaten was 23 times worse than what I did. He ran towards the lunch ladies with his eyes closed, panting and not knowing where he was. He slammed straight into the glass counter, falling with an earthquake-like thud. Derek lay there yelling, "Ah!" as I calmly walked over, my phone in my hand. Who's the milk boy now?
I think we've seen enough. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time. Make sure to like and subscribe because at 100 subs, I will be giving away some skin cases. See you next time.